What about from a business perspective? You know, a lot of things have changed in business, right? Events being canceled, Enterprise Connect, you're one of the main chairs of that event. How are you coping with that?
So we're already going ahead. I think even today, we're going to be posting at the Enterprise Connect virtual schedule.
Okay.
And every year I do a market report, sort of an update on the contact center market. And we're going to lead off virtual Enterprise Connect with my session.
Okay.
It's going to be 11 o'clock on March 30th. And then they'll go into keynotes after that. So I have actually still been busy writing my presentation and updating it for things that are going on. But more broadly, it's interesting. I think the answer to your question about how I'm coping is the same for both business and personal. More video, right? You know, you and I have been in this business for a long time, you know, through this whole video wave, and we're so used to it, right? We're so used to having these setups where we can talk to each other like this. And our friends and some of our colleagues are not as far along. And so it's funny, on Sunday, I sent a Zoom link to a sister who is a school teacher in Florida. And she's like, okay, I was just downloading the app and getting it running, and where's her camera? And we ended up defaulting to Facebook Messenger video. That is a more common denominator for personal. So I think for personal, we can't expect people to be able to use the tools you and I have been doing every day, right? So I said, okay, let me back off what we've been doing. And then on a business basis, it was interesting. I had a call with, it was a WebEx call with about 5 colleagues to talk about a new project. And everybody's on there with their cameras off. And I said, you know what? Let's everybody turn on their cameras. I was on camera on. And well, I didn't do my hair and I don't have any makeup. I don't care. Let's just all see people, right? People are working from home that haven't worked from home before. They're used to being in their offices where they have a controlled environment. And it was a better meeting. And it was we got better outcomes, and we all shared a day a little bit better. So I think more video is a great answer. And it's funny, we in the industry have been trying to push that for 10 years.
Yeah, so it's using the right tools and making sure the tools are on. But sometimes you're like, what kind of video do I want? Like, so in the Bay Area, we're on, everyone has to stay in their homes. The kids are home from school for 4 weeks. And so that means my husband's here, my children are here. And so I'm up in my daughter's room. As you can tell, it's kind of work from anywhere with the stuffed animals in the background because you have to kind of juggle it. But I think it just makes it more human though, right? And then it's more authentic, and it's about connecting. And you've worked remote for most of your career, I believe, right? And so have the right tools. Any other kind of tips and tricks for those people who aren't used to working remote?
Well, especially in this time right now, I think there's a tendency to be too connected to the news and to social feeds. And so as social as I am, right, I use Twitter for business. I use LinkedIn, occasionally use Instagram. One of the things that I started doing years ago is just sort of not letting myself get distracted from the tasks that I have to do. And so I have this mental model of a couple of times in the morning, a couple of times in the afternoon, I'll check my social feeds, right? But the other part I think about working from home and being productive is, even in this digital world, and I'm very digital, right? I have a book. I didn't know I was going to do show and tell. I have a book that has my to-do list. It has my list of things to do. At the top of my list are my projects that are due and what day they're due. At the bottom is just like administrative stuff I may owe somebody, make a travel arrangement, not these days, but send a bill, something like that. And, an email can get lost. You can get sort of lost and lose track of, I owed somebody something today. And so having this on my desk open all the time, I find to be really productive, right? At the end of the day, I can check something off. At the end of the week, I look at what I've done, and some things that are big projects get moved to the next week and you move them on. But it's funny, I think this is one little tip that I use, and it's been helpful to me.
Okay, so video to stay connected with the teams and your family and folks around you. then use a notebook. I'm the same type of person. I have to write things down. That's why I have a pen in my hand. Because when I write it down, it cements it. So no, that's a good tip and trick. What about when we talk about communication to many? So like a one-to-many. So Zoom is good for like Teams. You said the Facebook video is good to connect with your sister. What about communication tools when it's like a one-to-many, like maybe it's airlines or whatever it may be?
Well, it's interesting. One of the things that I've been thinking about a lot is people trying to manage teams remotely that haven't done it in the past.
Yep.
And I think there are two things that I think companies and management specifically should think about doing as they prepare their teams to face people, to face customers and partners. The first one is empowerment, right? When we work in an office setting, it's easy to go check with somebody. It's easy to go run and figure out something, right? I think companies should be reevaluating policies on refunds, postponing things, expediting things, and communicating that out to the front lines so that decisions and actions can be taken as quickly as they need to be in this time. So I think empowerment is key. And the other one is empathy.
Yes.
So empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. And it's really essential to building good relationships. And so think about a contact center agent. Think about, somebody who is in marketing doing outbound calls, right? Or inbound calls. I think instilling that, bringing it up, always those should be skills. Empathy should always be a skill, but especially in this time. Everybody's frazzled. Everybody's concerned about their family and their livelihood. And so nobody should be thinking about rushing a customer, which may involve changing, key performance indicators,
Yep.
right? We used to have these notions of, let's quickly get people on and off the phone, or on and off whatever, let's get X number of interactions per hour. So I think this is a time to be communicating to the people who work for your company those 2 points, empowerment and empathy.